welcome to our ISPI 2021 award ceremony. I'm Nancy Crane Burns and proud to be the president of the International Society for Performance Improvement, our professional home. I would like to thank Belia Nell, our 2020 Distinguished Service Award recipient, for being our wonderful host for the ceremony. Belia has won this prestigious award for her service and noteworthy contributions to the Society over many years. She's a former ISPI board member, served on the board when I first started, author of the HPT Self-Study Guide, a CPT International Reviewer, a founder and past board member of ISPI EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and ISPI South Africa. She has been a judge for our annual case study competition. She encourages others to join the society and earn their CPT, and so much more. So thank you, Belia, for being with us today.
Good morning from Johannesburg, South Africa. And on behalf of Nancy Burns, our ISPI president, I welcome you to the ISPI Annual Awards. Today, we honor ISPI members and their teams for their significant achievement and efforts during the past year. I'm excited and encouraged by the ingenuity and innovation shown by all our recipients, and I'm honored to present these awards. As a society, we've done much to be proud of. The occasion marks an opportunity to highlight the society's appreciation for the remarkable work, and we will continue, and we hope that you will continue to do so. For everyone who's receiving an award today, you have done something to change our workplace, and societies at large. That alone deserves a round of applause. The successes that we recognize today are not only due to your intelligence and skill, but also to your dedication and commitment to the performance improvement. You have made ISPI the beacon of excellence for HPT. The individuals and teams recognized today represent the best of this year's work, and we're looking forward to seeing what you will be accomplishing for next year. I have attended more than 20 annual conferences, and the highlight has always been the opening keynote, which sets the tone for every conference. Plus, all the conference sessions with many opportunities to meet old and make new friends. And I was always looking forward to the award ceremony. It has intrigued me to know how all the recipients have shown dedication to their craft and the hard work it must have taken to achieve these awards. Today, I'm privileged to announce these awards, and may I take the opportunity to congratulate each and every one of you. Our society thrives and cherishes people like you who continuously make contributions and add to the body of knowledge, not only locally, but also globally. So today we will honor various recipients in various categories. The first category is the Outstanding Human Performance Intervention, and this is awarded to the Bank of China. The project was conducted as corporate net value, financing client coverage improvement of Bank of China in the Yangtze River Delta. This project is organized jointly by the Shanghai College of International Finance of the Bank of China and Shanghai RMB Trading Unit Collaborative Development Department of the Bank of China, and involves Bank of China Wealth Management and the branches in the Yangtze River Delta, with the goal of improving corporate net value financing client coverage of Bank of China in the Yangtze River Delta. This project aims to study the coordinated development of branches and integrated company in the Yangtze River Delta. Under the organization of the project team, the members of the study group deeply analyzed and implemented the solutions, focusing on the specific project goal and based on the theories and approaches on the performance improvement to finally provide specific guidance for coordinated development of branches and an integrated operating company in the Yangtze River Delta, whilst achieving this project goal.
Hi, my name is Paul Ryder. I look after the Bank of China's Professional Training College in Shanghai. It's my privilege to accept this Outstanding Human Intervention Award from ISPI on behalf of the Bank of China. We play a role in supporting the development of the Bank of China's banking business across Yangtze Delta Development Zone. The training project was established to support revenue generation for BOC's wealth management business. Specifically, our goal was to work with the relevant teams from the 4 head office branches in Shanghai, Jiangsu, Suzhou and Zhejiang to improve corporate net financing client coverage across the region. The project team was led by Wang Ying from our training centre here in Shanghai and colleagues from the Bank of China's RMB Trading Centre. The team received significant support from our frontline business units across Yangtze Delta. The training targets both frontline employees responsible for business development and their management teams. The training programme was carefully targeted to improve revenue generation and consisted of a face-to-face workshop and follow-up online coaching support. The face-to-face workshop was problem resolution oriented. The delegates were asked to look at BOC's revenue generation performance and identify problems and solutions to better identify, target and support our clients. While some training support was provided to help with target setting and performance improvement, etc., the success of the programme is really down to BOC's employees developing and comprehensively implementing performance improvement plans to better support our customers and grow our business. The team carefully tracked performance improvement results. The corporate net value financing client coverage improved from 25% to circa 29%. An additional 1,770 customers were added to our portfolio, and we generated daily sales of circa 1.77 billion RMB.
Our next award for Outstanding Human Performance Intervention goes to the China Telecom Sichuan branch. The project name is the New Idea and New Agreement, teaching you how to exceed the target of the new agreement with an increase of 182%. The project lead Sarong Hoi Go and the new business as a significant business development by China Telecom Corporation Limited, Neijiang branch, in recent years can effectively maintain the client subscription time and drive the development of high-value package by means of various methods of handling communication package, such as an anti-credit pay and credit card. When it comes to how to rapidly improve the sales capability of business of new agreements, the project team has specified the concept of technical control followed by human control and set a 4 process goals based on data research and analysis. Firstly, the success rate of setting up on-site stands in urban areas, rate of successfully notifying regular subscribers in urban areas, and successful innovation rate of conference marketing in rural areas, and success rate of conference marketing for clients in units. Different teams are responsible for optimizing various process goals, coupled with formulation of intervention measures and improvement of one-sentence marketing and bill preparation. Customized technical schemes are provided to cater to clients' demands in the political business markets, while marketing process including observing, identifying, and employing is put in place in the rural markets. After continuous improvement in 5 months, the daily handling number of business of new agreements increased from 6.1.
我们来自中国电信股份有限公司内江分公司市中区营销中心。我们获奖的题目是新思路、新合约，教你如何新合约超目标提升182%。
我是项目负责人廖倩梅，绩效改进助力团队能力提升。
我是马元海，绩效改进让生活更美好。
我是万春，绩效改进让学习更容易。
我是梁丹，绩效改进让工作更高效。
我是韩英，绩效改进让业绩更优秀。
我是郑显平，绩效改进让创新更简单。
今天你简单了吗？
Our next award for outstanding human performance intervention goes to the Chongqing Chang'an Mingxun APLL Logistics. The project is the efficiency improvement and cost reduction of the Yubei factory by CNY 8 million. The project was awarded according to the 3-level goal-setting scheme of performance improvement. We analyze and discuss from the organizational objectives, the process objectives, and operation objectives. Through the establishment of clear benefit targets of warehousing cost reduction and transportation cost reduction, the warehousing cost reduction goal is subdivided into 3 projects, and the transportation cost reduction is divided into 2 projects, so as to support the achievement and realization of the final cost reduction goal. The overall goal of reducing storage by RMB 5.8 million yuan, transportation cost by RMB 2.2 million yuan, and overall cost reduction of RMB 8 million yuan.
重庆长安民生物流首次参与国际绩效改进最佳实践大赛。我们以渝北工厂效率提升降本800万，有幸成为2021年中国4家获奖企业之一，能在此代表发言，感到无比的荣幸。我是长安民生零部件事业部渝北项目的负责人曾永恒。渝北工厂效率提升降本800万，是我们2020年的重大改善项目。为解决项目成本居高不下的问题，我们大刀阔斧地进行了 RDC 转 DC 配送模式的优化、总装一车间物料直送等优化改善项目，成功地实现了800万的降本目标。感谢我们的团队不断的创新突破与辛勤付出，我们把不可能变成了可能。
大家好，我是来自于长安民生物流零部件事业部的技术研发工程师邹颖，能代表团队在此发言，我感到非常荣幸。我们这个项目是从19年6月份开始启动，一直持续到20年的10月份结束。项目最开始呢，我们都认为这是一个不可能完成的任务，毕竟降本800万对我们来说是一个巨大的挑战。但是没想到，我们通过应用价值链分析、BEM 原因分析以及冰山分析法等绩效改进工具，我们最终确定了渝北工厂降本800万的目标所在。再从组织、流程、作业、目标进行3层级的目标设定，并针对性的进行现场问题摸排、系统性的问题解决，我们正式确定了实施方案。最后，我们配合渝北工厂实施团队，顺利地完成了这些项目的落地应用。我们非常自豪有了今天这个不错的成绩。路漫漫其修远兮，吾将上下而求索。我们相信长安民生未来可以创造更多800万的降本项目，绩效改进永无止境。谢谢大家。
Primo drives the world with you.
Our next award is the Outstanding Human Performance Intervention, and this goes to John Schell of the National Roofing Contractors Association. The project was led by John Schell as well as Judy Hale. The project name was for the roofing industry's integrated approach to workforce development. The roofing industry struggles to satisfy the demand for qualified roofers, given the nation's aging infrastructure. Every building needs a roof. Simultaneously, manufacturers are developing more sophisticated, energy-efficient roofing systems to reduce our carbon footprint. These systems require installers with higher skills and abilities. As a result, roofing contractors are struggling to attract and qualify and retain capable roof system installers. The call to arms came when insurance underwriters threatened to deny coverage to roofing contractors due to an increase in rooftop fires. The NRCA responded by creating its first performance-based certification. That resulted in reducing rooftop fire claims from $90 million over 3 years to zero within 8 years. This success spurred the industry to ask for more professional development and industry credentials. In response, NRCA changed its mission, its vision, and bylaws to allow for a more diversified membership. It then established its 4 pillars of workforce development: recruitment, onboarding, a comprehensive standardized skills training curriculum, and retention tools, including a flagship program which is called Pro Certification. Pro Certification is a comprehensive series of performance-based credentials for 15 different roofing systems, plus a foreman credential and one for qualifying experts who judge candidates' performance. The NRCA intentionally engaged and united internal stakeholders like manufacturers, distributors, architects, engineers, design professionals, regional and local affiliates, and related industry associations, and external stakeholders like insurance underwriters, state and federal government agencies, and sponsors of workforce development programs. The outcome is an integrated approach to workforce development.
Hi everyone, my name is Judy Hale. I had the privilege of working with the National Roofing Contractors Association in the creation of its Pro Certification program. I'd like now to introduce you to John Schell. John is the Vice President of Certification for the National Roofing Contractors Association. John, tell us how you got started. Tell us how NRCA went after the gauntlet and led the charge to address a major skill shortage.
Thank you, Judy. First of all, before we start, I would like to thank everyone at ISPI for providing us with this distinguished award of excellence, the category of Outstanding Human Performance Intervention. NRCA recognized a few years back the severity of our workforce shortage, knew we needed to collaborate with the entire industry, and how we would go about doing that. We just looked at, from our experiences, and Judy leaning into your experiences, into performance improvement principles. Our members knew they did not want a certification that only required our workers to take a written exam to call themselves certified. They wanted to ensure that their performance and every roof system to install it properly to a standard could be achieved in our assessment and our test for the certification.
Tell the group a little bit about your hands-on test.
The hands-on performance test carves out the most critical skills that an installer must demonstrate, must actually do. They are given an assignment. We publish these assignments in advance. They have to know this is what's expected for performance, two-way standard. The key to having a valid and effective assessment was the scoring rubric, which we spent a lot of time developing and piloting each certification before we released the performance exam.
Well, thank you, John. I think everyone really appreciated hearing the story. And on behalf of John and myself, we're honored to be recipients of this award.
Thank you, everyone.
Our next award is for the Outstanding Human Performance Intervention, and it goes to State Grid University. The project was led by Chua Hongshu, who is the chairman of State Grid University, the Advanced Training Center of State Grid Corporation of China. Their project was the Cloud Classroom Unifying Learning Resources. Ever since 2010, the Advanced Training Center has been struggling to integrate all of the learning resources to execute faster employee capability development to respond to the rapid business growth. But not until the transformation of ATC into State Grid University in April 2019 and Project Cloud Classroom, they achieved a synergistic integration of learning at almost all levels with SGCC's gigantic organizational structure. It is a daunting task with an ambitious goal to unify all the learning resources, meanwhile adopting the most practical and applicable learning concepts such as informal learning, mobile learning, social learning, just-in-time learning, feedback system, and coaching. I also would like to mention that the State Grid Corporation of China is the second largest power company in the world. Our next award for Outstanding Human Performance Intervention goes to Commander David Turris for his Coast Guard framework for the development of facilitated online courses. The facilitated online training framework was developed as part of the service's modernized ready learning strategy. The strategy focused on adopting current industry technologies to make learning more adaptable, modular, and learner-centered. Prior to developing this instructional intervention framework, the U.S. Coast Guard conducted 90% of its training in a resident format and the remaining 10% using self-paced e-learning. Each course composed of synchronous and asynchronous elements. During the synchronous portion, students and instructors meet on an online learning platform. This 5-day resident course underwent conversion and was successfully fielded in February 2020, saving the U.S. Coast Guard $30,000 in annual student travel costs, while doubling course throughput that closed the critical skills gap across the aviation program. The facilitated online training framework became a critical tool across the training system to provide fleet-wide training and to maintain operational readiness during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Coast Guard headquarters in beautiful Washington, D.C. My name is Commander Dave Torres. This is Lieutenant Commander Joellen Ahrens, and this is Lieutenant Commander Mike Mastriani. We are honored and humbled to accept a ISPI Award of Excellence on behalf of the Coast Guard training system. Even though a group of 10 of us developed the framework for virtual training, it would not have been a success without the drive and passion from instructors and developers across the entire nation.
These 10 core members were comprised of instructional designers from California and Virginia, instructional staff from North Carolina, program and training management personnel from here in Washington, D.C. This initiative took place over a 4-month period, conducted through both in-person and virtual collaboration to design and develop a new framework for delivering vital skills and knowledge to Coast Guard personnel.
The team diligently applied HPT principles as we developed this framework. Immediately following our first course conversion from resident to virtual training, the COVID-19 pandemic impacted the world. Because of the efforts put forth by the team, the training system quickly adapted and continued to train a mission-ready workforce during this crisis. To date, we have 58 courses that are built using the virtual training framework. Thank you so much.
The Outstanding Human Performance Intervention next goes to the Wirtgen Group and awarded to Bill Stetter. His project for Wirtgen America was the Wirtgen America Systems Integrity Assessments curriculum. In early 2017, Wirtgen America has made inroads to convert an important customer to the Wirtgen milling machine over a competitor's machine. The new machines prepped at the dealer shop prior to customer delivery were found to be substandard upon delivery. Wirtgen America and the dealer remedied the immediate machine problems at their own expense, but it also prompted management to reevaluate the process of how machines are to be delivered. The Wirtgen American Service Training Department, in partnership with product support management and dealer management, investigated the process, essentially asking what is happening, what should be happening. The evidence pointed to 2 significant gaps. First, dealers were not being adequately trained on the key fundamentals of how the machine should operate and how to determine machine system anomalies. And secondly, instructions prepared by the factory were largely inadequate for the purpose at hand. They were often difficult to follow, and the instructions were not job specific. Based on the tryouts, final course improvements were made. Service training then began the process of developing SIA courses for the other main road building product lines, eventually incorporating crushing technology, SIA, into the curriculum too. Today, Wirtgen America offers SIA courses covering 7 different machines.
Wirtgen America Service Training is honored to be the recipient of this year's ISPI's Award of Excellence for our Systems Integrity Assessments, or SIA curriculum. More than a dozen Wirtgen America service technicians, customer solutions advisors, instructional specialists, and product managers contributed to the curriculum development and implementation. Also, one of our key distribution partners was instrumental in field testing the courses. Wirtgen America is the North American subsidiary of the Wirtgen Group and manages a network of more than 30 dealers with over 280 locations covering every state and province in the US and Canada. The Wirtgen Group, which became a John Deere company in 2017, is the #1 producer of road building equipment in the world. The first SIA course was introduced in 2017. Today, The curriculum consists of 7 standalone courses, several of which form the core curriculum of our Master Technician program.
Dealer response to the training has been overwhelming. Although 2020 was a down year by most standards, we saw an 85% increase in SIA course completions compared to the previous year.
This ISPI award validates our mission of being recognized within the road building industry as the leading provider of performance-based, value-added learning opportunities. It's our goal to help our target population meet and exceed their personal and professional potential. Again, we thank all of those involved in the development and implementation of the SIA curriculum, and we thank ISPI for recognizing us with this award.
Outstanding Human Performance Communication is our next award. And this year it is awarded to Doug Isaacs of Guardian Premier Solutions. His project was the AFSW Daily Biometric Status Assessment and Evaluation. This project was designed to help increase the knowledge of individual stress response to training evolutions of Air Force Special Warfare candidates. Daily wellness, sleep, resting heart rate, training load, and HRV metrics are evaluated. Any candidates that fall outside of acceptable ranges over multiple days are flagged as having a potential overreaching response to training. We were able to automate this process through the use of our candidate management and allow for real-time changes to training as opposed to after-action items. By doing so, we can make adjustments to the increased recovery time and/or the effectiveness. As part of an integrated approach, this process included simple, multiple facets of high-performance team, all aspects of the team, which include the human performance cadre, technicians, psychologists, strength and conditioning, athletic training, physical therapy, and skill development were involved within the data collection and mitigation response. By creating this feedback loop and integrated team environment, we were able to make an actionable change within the Special Warfare Training Division. Our next category of awards is the Distinguished Dissertation Award, and this year it goes to Kim Pinckney Lewis. The title of the dissertation is The Perceptions of Burden in Needs Assessment and Exploration of Measurement, Creation, and Validation. Needs assessment is a valuable tool in the instructional designer and performance improvement practitioner toolbox. However, it is often avoided due to perceived burdens associated with the needs assessment process. The researcher developed and tested a perceived burden for needs assessment participant survey as a potentially reliable and valid measure of this phenomena. This survey proved to be both internally consistent and applicable across organizational contexts, constituent types, and lengths of affiliation. Finally, an exploratory factor analysis yielded, number 1, a 4-component model accounting for 52.27% of the variation on the concept of perceived burden, and second, several implications for practitioners and future iterations of the participant survey.
Hello, my name is Kim Pinckney Lewis, and I am very excited and humbled to receive this award for my dissertation, Perceptions of Burden and Needs Assessment, an Exploration of Measurement, Creation, and Validation. With the support, gentle nudges, and constructive criticism of my committee members, Dr. John Bakke, Dr. Rob Moore, and Dr. Jason Lynch, I brought this mixed method study to fruition. Within my practice and scholarship, I see needs assessment as a valuable tool in the performance improvement practitioner toolbox. However, it is often avoided due to perceived burdens associated with the needs assessment process. Within my dissertation, I explored needs assessment participants' perceptions of 4 proposed components of burden, including duties, obligations, and responsibilities, cost, needs assessment facilitator skills, and needs assessment facilitator systemic sensitivities. I also developed and tested the Perceived Burden for Needs Assessment Participants Survey, or PBNAPS, as a potentially reliable and valid measure of this phenomenon. The PBNAPS proved to be both internally consistent, with a coefficient alpha of 0.86, and applicable across organizational context, constituent types, and lengths of affiliation. The majority of participants reported low levels of perceived burden, with a mean of 2.97 based on a 7-point Likert scale, suggesting that perceived burden in needs assessment is not as high as anticipated. Finally, an exploratory factor analysis yielded a 4-component model accounting for 52.27% of the variation on the concept of perceived burden, and several implications for practitioners and future iterations of the PBNAPS. I am looking forward to how this work will continue to add to the performance improvement practice. Thank you so much for this honor.
It is such a pleasure for me to be awarding Margot Murray the Honorary Distinguished Service Award for 2021. Margot has so many accolades, and I do want to read a few of them. She has an MBA, CPT, CEI, and has earned ISPI's highest honors: Outstanding Member, Member for Life, President, and 2017, the Gary Rumler Award for Performance Improvement. Currently as an historian appointed by the ISPI President Nancy Burns, she's helping to rebuild records and historical evidence for ISPI archives. Over the years, she has volunteered as officer and committee chair for ISPI for more than 50 years. Margot has chaired the ISPI Executive Board, planned and presided over 25th anniversary conference, and served on senior advisory panel and senior liaison to conference committee. She presented numerous times at ISPI annual conferences, as well as the ISPI EMEA conferences, and for many years she continues to serve as a mentor to many ISPI leaders, including the board of the Bay Area Boise State chapter. She has been the senior advisor to the award-winning Bay Area Boise State chapter for many years. Looking back, she has continuously made a tremendous contribution to the chapter, providing feedback and guidance on each board meeting, providing a mentor to many board members, guiding the board through strategic planning. She has introduced the ISPI Bay Area Boise State chapter to many of her colleagues and clients. A lot of them have joined and become active in ISPI and Bay Area Boise State chapter. On a personal note, I'd like to mention a few things about Margot. I've known her for over 20 years, and I'd like to tell you that she's a master chef in cooking, exceptional hostess when entertaining. Her knowledge of wine is excellent, and she's also producing her own wine. I want to particularly mention her visit to to where she participated at our South African ISPI conference some years ago. We had a really successful conference, and I took it upon myself with her and others to show them and showcase a bit of South Africa, and particularly Cape Town. Margot, you've meant so much to me as a role model, as advisor and mentor, and I appreciate you as a friend, a colleague and mentor. And it is such an honor for me. How did I know after so many years later I will be awarding you this distinguished service award? In my native language, I want to say, jy het 'n uitsonderlike bydrae gelewer met almal wie jy in aanraking gekom het. Margot, loop in vrede vorentoe en mag die sterre in die hemel jou pad in die nag helder hou en bedags belig met sonskyn. Loosely translated, Margot, may you continue to take the road less traveled, lit by the stars by night and sunshine by day. May you continue to take the unexpected turn-offs so that we can meet again one day.
Thank you, George and Mark, and all of those who worked on the awards committee this year. I know you were faced with some tough choices, and I am grateful and honored with this one. Actually, it's the second time I've received the service award, since in 1972, when I was vice president of ISPI, responsible for programs for the conference. By default, I also became the conference manager, doing double duty, and that was recognized as well. It fits with my values, and in 1970, I went through some personal growth seminars, and one of the exercises was to write an epitaph, and mine went something like this. Margot is to be remembered for having created environments within which other people could achieve their goals. I believe that, and I think I behave that. I think it's a tragic waste of human resources for any generation to have to learn by trial and error what some generation has already learned. And that's why our motto is to pass it on. It's fitting that my birthday month is January because I do focus forward and occasionally look back to see what has been learned. My forward focus just now is acting as an advisor to the ISPI Bay Area Boise State chapter and supporting their development of future leaders. And looking back, I am helping with the history and collection of events and artifacts and activities of ISPI leaders and volunteers so that those can be archived and made available for future generations. One of Margot's maxims is, if it is to be, some part of it is up to me, and that's why I serve. Thank you all very much.
The next awards are the Roger Kaufman Award for Societal Impact.
Good afternoon, everybody, and very welcome. This is Mariana Sala. I am the COO of Kaufman Center, and we want to say many thanks to ISPI for offering us this opportunity to present the Roger Kaufman Awards. It will be a real pleasure to give you an avant premiere of each of the winners. And we are going to remember Roger, who was an active and a very engaged member of ISPI. We want to tell you that the Roger Kaufman Award was born in the ISPI in 2014, Mariano, right?
Yep, 2014.
Okay, so I'm gonna share with you right now these special awards and to present to you the Kaufman Center. But first of all, we wanna tell you a little more with Mariano, who is the director of the Kaufman Center, and he's going to explain to us which means social impact.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. My name is Mariano Bernardes. Most of you know me already. Others are knowing me today. I've been for 35 years the partner of business of Roger Kaufman and friend and mentor. What is social impact? Social impact is about 3 levels of results. Micro level is the products and services that a company and organization produces and delivers. Macro level are the benefits that this organization generates for itself from those micro level products and services and for their stakeholders and shareholders. But the most important mega results are the benefits for clients, customers, shareholders, stakeholders in general, and society, the societal impact. So social impact is about mega level results. Also about sustainability, meaning those results have to be self-sufficient, that requires mega revenue, macro revenue, and international reach. The idea is that our shared world requires to think in terms, global terms, even if we do something local. Well,
so let's give a presentation to our 2021 winners of the Roger Kaufman Awards. So this year, the Roger Kaufman Award goes to?
Well, it goes for COVID response. This is the year of COVID, to the government of Uruguay, SINAE, which is the system for national emergencies in Uruguay.
Less than 1,000 positive COVID-19 cases and 28 deaths, Uruguay has become a COVID-19 success story. Despite sharing a border with Brazil, the second worst affected country, Uruguay has managed to contain the outbreak. The country flattened the curve without even imposing the lockdown restrictions. This report tells you how.
When we talk about COVID-19 success stories, the first few countries that come to our mind are Taiwan, New Zealand, Australia and Canada, to name a few. Today, we bring you a COVID-19 success story from Uruguay. We know that New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said she did a little dance after eradicating COVID-19.
Absolutely no idea why I was dancing around the lounge, but enjoying it nonetheless.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stepped out for ice cream after lifting COVID-19 restrictions. But did you know how Uruguay's president celebrated after successfully containing the outbreak? He went surfing. When the COVID-19 outbreak became a pandemic, Uruguay had very little working in its favor. It shares a border with Brazil, the second worst hit country, with more than 60,000 COVID-19 deaths. Still, Uruguay managed to keep the COVID-19 outbreak under control with less than 1,000 positive cases and 28 deaths. Uruguay's success is especially remarkable as the authorities never announced a lockdown. Instead, officials urged people to stay indoors and strictly adhere to social distancing guidelines.
But everything said, for a government, it was logical. And I am going to add a concept that can be debatable and easy, or the easiest measure to order mandatory quarantine. And from the beginning, I was clear that I was not going to do it.
Hence, people were asked to self-isolate. Experts attribute Uruguay's success to early tracing.
First, there were quick and clear measures by the government, with messages that the population understood stay-at-home orders. Second, there was an excellent response from the population. Third, we had an excellent response from medical facilities, of medical personnel in a broad sense, and from the entire group of scientists.
Médico en sentido amplio.
The country's demographics also worked in favor. Uruguay has a population of 3.4 million. A low population density and the absence of large urban centers helped break the chain of transmission. The country started relaxing COVID-19 restrictions in April. 45,000 construction workers were allowed to return. By May, cafes, restaurants and gyms were reopened. Schools, colleges and universities will be reopened this week. Even though the country has successfully flattened the curve, it will have to bear a heavy economic cost. The aftermath of the outbreak has left over 200,000 people unemployed. The government of Uruguay has not declared victory over COVID-19 due to the looming threat of the second wave. It remains to be seen whether Uruguay will emerge as an example of absolute success or will it experience a second wave. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
China, with Improvement Consulting China, developing the performance improvement model and the category of the CSRB Corporation.
Hi, my name is Hui Ding, co-founder and CEO of Improvement Consulting from China. We are so delighted and honored to receive the Roger Kaufman Award from ISPI. For years, Improvement Consulting has been engaging in promoting performance improvement in China and striving to make breakthroughs in both theory and practice for fast-growing companies. I want to take this opportunity to thank ISPI for long-time support and encouragement. I also want to thank our improvement consulting team for their hard work on finding correct answers in management and innovative ways to create value. In the future, we will continuously promote HPT not only to Chinese clients, but also fast-growing companies in other countries as well. Thank you again. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.
And in the COVID response as well, World Central Kitchen with Chef Jose Andres.
To a degree, chefs were trained to make sure that we don't contaminate anybody in the process of producing foods.
Delivering meals that they will be distributed for lunch, dinner, and tomorrow breakfast inside the Prince Cruise Ship.
At the end, what we do is very simple. We have one mission. We need to feed anybody that is hungry and bring water to anybody that is thirsty, and make it happen now. The urgency of now is now, not a week from now. And with that very simple marching orders, every amazing team member of World Central Kitchen knows that success equals delivering food. Food is something like sends a message of, I'm taking care of you. You're gonna be loved. You belong to me.
chef Jose Andres is turning several of his DC and New York City restaurants into community kitchens, where he's offering takeout service at affordable prices and meals for free for those who need them.
Obviously, we've never been through something like this. Coronavirus is a wake-up call. And I think humanity is going to have to ask themselves, who are our leaders? Are leaders that give speeches, or are leaders that they are supposed to have the expertise and the boots on the ground to make things happen?
And finally, Good Zone Center, providing violence-free zones, working on the integration of this special subject.
We had like 3-4 fights every day.
Last year, my attitude was just like, could nobody tell me nothing.
Before I started in this program, like bad, my grades were like low and all that stuff.
All last year, it was just fights. Fights, people going to jail, all that.
I used to be like out of control, always had bad grades and just didn't care, just cuss all the time. But now I know how to control better because of the program. I know how to handle my problems better and control my swearing and control my attitude and stuff.
There was a lot of problems or whatever, like girls and stuff, and it was hard for us just to like let things slide or whatever, but then they started talking to us and trying to do mediation and things like that, and well, it helps us out.
In my years here, we've had shootings out front. We've had, kids shot. We've had fights. We've had almost riots from situations that were going on with sometimes our students and people in the community who are not our students, or people driving around in cars.
What the violence-free zone people, the Center for Neighborhood Enterprise people are doing is augmenting our staff by doing some things that we're not trained to do. They address some of our high-risk kids. Mentoring is probably the term that comes to mind when I watch them in action. Big brother kind of thing, talking to kids who have troubles. And, they've been around a little bit. They've got some experiences in life. And I think the kids respect that.
It's the conflicts in the hallway and the tension in the school is what kills your learning. I mean, that's the bullseye of what they're addressing here. So for me, it was a no-brainer.
The Center for Neighborhood Enterprises community-based violence-free zone initiative is reducing youth violence, school disruptions, and suspensions in public schools around the country. CNE partners with community-based organizations like the Latino Community Center and the Running Rebels Community Organization in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Who let you out,
I think coming from the community, it has an asset, because I think they have a better understanding, a deeper understanding of where the children are today, because many of them saw themselves in those same situations and were able to relate to the children on a personal basis. I know I experienced this. I know what your pain is. I can tell you my own personal experience in life and what I did to work my way out of it.
The local organizations select, screen, train, and employ young adults from the affected neighborhoods who work in the schools as youth advisors. Because they have faced many of the same challenges as the students, they earn their trust and can motivate them to change their behavior. The youth advisors work in the schools and communities as monitors, mediators, character coaches, and moral mentors. They inspire students to good behavior and educational excellence.
When I was a struggling teenager, coming to this same school, South Division, it was hard for me. It was a struggle. I was trying to find my way. I was trying to find that person that I could connect to in the school, and I never found it. Now I'm back, and I'm in the same school that I came from, and I'm walking around here trying to be that person that I was looking for to most of these kids that are looking for help.
What we try to do is sit down with them and let them know, hey, you are important. And when we get to them to understand that they are important, what happens is that they can sense a sense of urgency on the inside of them to say, hey, I can do this and I am somebody.
I take great pride out of watching the small victories that the children that we work with accomplish every day. I mean, whether it's going from a D to a C, or just not getting suspended for 1 week.
Anytime I have an opportunity to help a young person, I think that what gets me out of bed each morning.
The Running Rebels, they break it down like, yeah, I done did this before. I've been in your same situation, and like from being a young man like me, I'm like thinking like he been through that, like so he know what he's talking about.
They try to realize what is good for you. So every time you come here and talk to them, it's like you're with your parents.
They keep it real. They ain't like no like fake like no okay. They just keep it real. Come to you. They don't be beating around the bush. They just hit it right on the right. Sugarcoat nothing. Hit it right on the.
You wrong, they tell you wrong. You right, they tell you right.
And instead of getting like two people that was getting ready to like fight, the Running Rebels would make them come in the room and like talk it out and try to get down to the problem.
Last year I wasn't doing so good in class and stuff, and then when I came here, I had the Running Rebels help me out, with my work and stuff, and they talked to me, told me to go to class on time, when to be there, come to school.
Before I got in the violent free zone activity, before I started coming to South, I stayed in jail all the time. I kept going back to jail, and I came here. And they showed me some stuff, you know what I'm saying? I got my head on straight now. I got good grades, and they like family to me, really like a family.
C&E measures the impact on the students and the schools, and best practices are shared with the other violence-free zone sites in 27 schools around the country.
I went to one of the high schools, Custer High School, about 6 weeks ago, and I went and talked to the staff about a reform effort that we're putting in place for educational purposes. The staff gave me a standing ovation. They thanked me for having the Neighborhood Enterprise Program in the school. They said it has made a significant difference. I talked with the assistant principal. He says that their discipline has improved tremendously. He can't believe the number of suspensions that have been reduced. They used to have district office referrals for significant behavior problems. They were having one a day, actually, those type of conferences. He said that he believes the numbers are about one every 2 weeks. So significant improvements from dedicated people in the community coming into our schools and having a passion to work with our children and actually to make a difference in their lives.
I could come talk to them, and I don't have to be scared to do anything. I don't have to, bring my anger out and show my anger. I could come and talk to and work my problems out.
And I came up with a 4.0, doing my work every day, going to class, staying on task. And I came up with the 4.0.
Since I've been coming to y'all, I ain't been doing all the bad stuff that I used to do, as gossiping, fighting, getting suspended. When I came here, I think I'm changing now.
Last year, around this time, I probably would have been in the hallway, running from security or something, or trying to start a fight or something, instigating or something. But since they came, you know what I'm saying, I'm like a whole different person now. I done been to class like every day this week, and I'm going every day next week. You know what I'm saying?
They helped me with my tempers. Like I had like a real bad one. If anybody said anything to me, I was ready to fight. But the Running Rebels set me down and showed me a better way. Like other than that, and I'm pretty sure every young man in here can say it's helping. The Running Rebels was here to make us a better man, to make us better man, and it's helping us a lot.
My parents used to be up here the school. All the teachers knew my parents, but they haven't. When I used to have bad grades and bad comments. So when they came to parent-teacher conference last time, all the teachers said good things about me. That's because I just been on my stuff, because this program helped me.
This is my 15th year as an assistant principal in MPS. I've been at 3 different high schools, South Division being the first high school with this program. And I can honestly say that I hope I never have to go back to a high school that doesn't have this support, these people that are connecting to the kids, connecting us to the community. I can't even imagine going back to it.
I can't imagine not having them here. I truly can't, because they have become a fixture for South, and they're just a part of our staff, and they're just awesome. I wish that they had this in all the high schools, truly, because it's a valuable program.
I think it's important for the private, philanthropic, and corporate community to be invested in our public schools. We've seen an almost immediate return on our investment, and I would encourage anyone else in the private, philanthropic, and corporate community to take a good look at this program, because it really does work.
I think that if you're looking for things that make significant change, and as superintendents, You look for what are the things that give you significant impact, not little impact, not incremental impact, not continuous improvement, but significant change. This is a program that'll bring about significant change in the culture of a school and community.
I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you. The final section of our award ceremony is for the chapter awards. Every member in every chapter globally provides us with so many opportunities for learning and growing by organizing events, making products and services available to us, provide opportunities for us to network. They give their time without being paid, and it shows the professionalism that they have to our craft and to ISPI. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the efforts each and every one making. Our first Distinguished Chapter Award goes to the ISPI Bay Area Boise State. Congratulations. Secondly, we have the Chapter of Excellence Award winners, and there are two winners in this particular category. Firstly, we have the ISPI Bay Area Boise State, their award for programming, for communication, and for society relations. And our second winner in this particular category is the ISPI Michigan, their award for society relations. Our next award goes to the ISPI Atlanta, ISPI Bay Area Boise State chapter, the Boeing Company Virtual chapter, the ISPI Gulf Coast chapter, and the ISPI Michigan chapter. Lastly, the ISPI Potomac chapter. And these winners are for the Chapter of Merit Award. Congratulations again. Before we sign off and before I say goodbye, I'd like to give a special warm welcome and thanks again to the ISPI Award Committee members, and particularly George Gu, who is the director at ISPI, who's given so much of his time making this event such a success. Additionally, also Mark Bowers, who's the chair, and Chia Chen and Deborah Hazen. Thank you very much, because without you, this event would not have taken place. So I thank all of you for tuning in. Thank you for your dedication to ISPI, and we look forward to seeing all of you in person next year. Goodbye.
Now.
Now is the turn of World Central Kitchen, almost with the category COVID response. World Central Kitchen is located first in Washington, but then expanded to USA, all over USA and worldwide. So which was the highlight contribution of this COVID response?
Well, World Central Kitchen started with Jose Andres, a famous chef, creator of the Bulli in Barcelona, who had his first experience of responding to emergencies in the hurricane in Puerto Rico. He decided to do the same in the United States, and he created a model that integrates two of the main casualties of the COVID crisis: the restaurants that had no customers and the customers that have no food. So what he did was he created a value chain connecting local producers, unemployed chefs, empty restaurants, to make them work together and serve millions of healthy food to people in cities in the United States. They started California, LA, Washington, D.C., and then they moved southwards towards Mexico and other countries around the world.
Integral answer and also healthy. Which are now the mega, macro, and micro results, as we can summarize a little bit. Remember that you are going to be able to listen to the winners on June.
Yes. Well, as Roger said, mega involves, among other things of the ideal vision, health. So we have healthy food instead of processed food, locally produced. So you use all the vegetables and poultry and food produced in the region, close to the place. You, at the same time, keep restaurants working, keep chefs employed, and give local farmers clients and protect jobs. And finally, so as we speak, World Central Kitchen is calling for people. They have a shortage of employees in a moment where the country is still under a recession. And the micro results are local kitchens working for food, restaurants that are unable to open to customers are still able to open their kitchen to millions of people who they need it, and jobs for young people who want to make a difference, doing good and doing well.
Smart idea to follow and expand it, right?
Yeah. Tres.
And now we are going to mention to Goodson Center, who is located in USA, was born in Washington, and the category of this award is NGO, and which was the highlight contribution, Mariano?
Well, Bob Woodson started working on this 40 years ago. He's the recipient of the Medal of Honor bestowed by President Obama. And basically what he does is working with the African American communities in inner cities in the United States, helping to reduce inner city violence, which is the main cause of death. And in doing so, they have achieved, for example, a 44% reduction in the average number of suspensions per student in schools, also in violent crime. And they have people who are, as you can see in the picture, persuading their neighbors to de-escalate violence, reducing significantly, without guns and without other resources, inner city violence.
Okay, and which were the macro, mega, and micro results?
Well, interestingly, Woodson Center also promotes entrepreneurship, and they achieve consistent results over the last 20 years in reducing inner city violence and also poverty rates through community-based organizations. and that offer jobs instead of crime and diffuse community violence. The macro results are precisely creating self-sufficient community-based entrepreneurship that reduce dependency on welfare. And of course, the micro results are achieved through mediation, peer-to-peer, neighbor-to-neighbor mediation.
It's all personal at the end of the day, and working in that path, they really achieve not only these results, but dignity for people, right?
Yes, don't miss Bob Woodson and Jose Andres when they talk about all these topics in June with more time.
Yes.